Vanakkam Dohadeva and everyone. Happy New Year. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'll try to share the screen. There it is. Share. Very good. We have first topic. First topic is Nartanaratau. There we are, raising the flag with the Yerevan Temple in the background, which we did a couple days ago. Beginning with the Hindu New Year in mid-April, 3 seasons of the year divide our activities into 3 great needs of humankind. The learning of Scripture in the first season, Nartanaratau, which is what just started. The living of culture in the second season, Jivanaratau. And the meditating on Shiva in the third season, Moksharatau. Thus, we are constantly reminded that our life is Shiva's life and our path to him is through study, sadhana, and realization. In Ratau 1, we teach the philosophy. In Ratau 2, we teach the culture. And in Ratau 3, we teach meditation. Quite Hindu monastery, and everywhere members reside, the Hindu flag, Hindutva Dwaja, majestically proclaims the Sanatana Dharma. It is changed for each of our 3 Hawaiian seasons. Many smaller flags of various colors are also flown, welcoming pilgrims to special realms of the 4-month period. Oh, that's a nice photo there. It's our quadcopter. Compliments of the quadcopter. Nartanaratau, the season of dancing with Shiva, begins on Hindu New Year. This is the period of creation, the warm season from mid-April through mid-August. If anyone doesn't know Nartana means dancing. The teaching is Dancing with Shiva, Hinduism's contemporary catechism, Shivena Saha Nartanam. This foundational text is featured in all mission satsangs. The key word of this season is planning. Very important. Planning. We'll come back to that. The colors. Gurudev was very big on colors. The colors are orange, yellow, gold, and all shades of green. Orange for renunciation, yellow gold for action, and green for regeneration. High above the main Hindu flag flies the color orange, heralding the Nartanaratau throughout this season, symbolizing sadhana and self-control. The other colors adorn smaller flags. This is a season of giving special attention to those in the Grahastha Ashrama. So that's roughly age 24 through 48. It is a time of awakening, renewal, and review. The emphasis is on seeing ahead, planning for future years. It is a time of planning retreats and other activities for youths and adults for the entire year. During this time of looking forward, the Church's 6-year plan is updated by the Guru Mahasannidhanam and stewards, and another year added. Savidharma Shastras are studied. Any needed additions and supplementary manuals representing new growth are made. The practical focus is completion of unfinished projects. So, in terms of the main idea here, the emphasis is on seeing ahead, planning for future years. So why don't you take a minute to give some thought, take some notes on applying those ideas to your situation. What part of future years should you put more energy into planning? It is a time for ordering seeds and plants for the year, planting trees, fragrant vines, and the annual crop. Review is made for scheduling the care of all 9 realms of the Audinum's 51 acres. Gaudable Temple and the Guru Temple are cleaned and renewed during this season, and the adjacent grounds receive special abundant attention. Karma yogis are invited to help in this and other areas with planting and weeding, digging, fertilizing, fence repair, and more. Sounds like spring cleaning. It's interesting. One of the qualities of the nature of the Rataus are that you end up doing what the Ratau says you'll do without planning to do it. So, for example, yesterday they started the project of moving a number of the smaller noni trees, replanting them, without realizing that they're fitting right into the Ratau, and we also planted lots of okra. So we're busy planting without thinking about it. So again, take some notes on how those ideas apply to your situation. Basically, it's, in the West we call it spring cleaning. Everybody's been a bit hunkered down in the colder months, and now we're getting out and time to fix up the house, change the seasons according to the change in activities. Spring cleaning. The daily sadhana is the Shiva Chaitanya Panchatantra, experience in Nada, Jyoti, Prana, Shakti, and Darshana. Sanskrit, it is a time of learning new shlokas and mantras. In the family community, Prashnottara Satsang is held for one and all to attend. Families plan for their annual pilgrimage. Shrine rooms are renewed and redecorated for the year, and the clothing of all is renewed in the Hindu style of the current fashion. It is a time of doing things for others, religious outreach. In the missions, Nartana Ratau is the time of bringing in new students and church members. It is a time of Hatha Yoga and philosophical teachings. So those are ideas about sadhana, shrine room, clothing, helping others, and take some notes on how that applies to your situation. And our second topic is courage, which is the 14th character quality. That doesn't look like the photo for courage, does it? Sure looks like the photo for contentment. I have to change that for tomorrow's presentation. 14th character quality of our character building workbook. And the typical question is, how would you define courage? Our workbook says courage means having the strength to bravely face life's experiences. I developed this virtue when I cope fearlessly with dangerous, difficult, or painful situations. Its opposite is cowardice. Gurudeva's quotes, courageous and fearless people who are just and honest prevail over all karmas. Benevolent, terrible, and confused. Interesting description of karma. Benevolent, terrible, and confused. This virtue is much like the monk's vow of humility, part of which is enduring hardship with equanimity, ease of mind, which means not panicking. And we get another quote about Hinduism. To all Hindus who today are found in every country on the earth, I say, courage, courage, courage. Have the courage to know beyond a doubt that Hinduism is the greatest religion in the world. And about yoga, the study of yoga is reserved for the few who have the courage to seek the depths of their being, for the few who can overcome their experiences and their desires in deep meditation. This quote was really nice, different approach to courage. Comparing the behavior of one who is courageous to one who is cowardly. First situation, when a friend is being bullied on the playing field, you. Courage, stand up to the bullies and make them back down. Cowardice, walk away too afraid to say anything. On a forest hike, when you and friends become lost, you. Courage, take the lead, using the GPS on your phone to guide the group to safety. Cowardice, panic and wait for others to find their way back to safety. Third situation, when a stranger falls in a swift river, you. Courage, immediately dive in knowing your strength as a swimmer. Cowardice, stand by helplessly even though you can swim well. So this is assuming you're a great swimmer. Reflection. Take a moment to identify a few ways in which you could improve in courage. Assignment. During these 2 weeks, identify something that makes you fearful and consciously use your innate courage to overcome it. And we get our third topic. Answering your questions sent to satsang@hindu.org. Please send in more questions, can always use more. As puja is explained as the energy of offerings and devotion reflected back, how are our deities more genuinely, separately existent than those previously worshipped and experienced as real and beneficent by other cultures long gone or yet to be? Very unusual question. Oh, this is a kind of indirect way of approaching the answer. The first answer is that sometimes the same deity is in multiple religions, but that fact is not necessarily known. So we have Lord Murugan as an example. Hinduism is not the only religion in which Lord Murugan is found. As would seem quite natural, he is also found in the Buddhist religion. And there he is on a peacock. Looks very different than the Indian concept, but we can see he's got 6 faces there, Japanese faces. Oh, that shows how the deity looks one way in one culture, religion, and similar but distinct in another culture, religion. Ganesha is interesting as well. As would be expected, Lord Murugan's brother, Lord Ganesha, also made the journey to Japan, where he is known as Kongi Ten. So they didn't know about elephants and tusks, so he's holding a radish. It's their interpretation of what he was holding. Not having elephants in Japan. In Shingon Buddhism, Murugan is called Skanda, Ida-ten and Kumara-ten. So, you see certain similarities there in the features. In Mahayana Buddhism, he is called Skanda and Wei Tuo. Skanda's function is to protect the monasteries, the monks, and the religion's teachings. In Chinese temples, Skanda faces the statue of the Buddha in the main shrine. So in other words, unless you had studied this and you were to worship or attend where worship is happening, these Buddhist deities, you wouldn't know that it's Lord Murugan. You think it's another deity. Then we have an interesting one here. Yazidism is considered by its adherents to be the oldest religion in the world and the first truly monotheistic faith. The Yazidi calendar states that the religion, as well as the universe, is almost 7,000 years old. Its followers live in the Middle Eastern countries such as Iraq and believe in reincarnation. Melek Taus, hopefully that pronunciation is close, translated in English as Peacock Angel, is one of the central figures of the Yazidi religion. In Yazidi creation stories, God created the world and entrusted it to the care of 7 holy beings, often referred to as the 7 angels, of whom the most preeminent is Melek Taus. Some scholars are convinced Melek Taus is Lord Murugan. And there were no peacocks where this religion was founded. Then there is Saint Michael, who was an archangel in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Some scholars have stated that he is also Lord Murugan. So he's also relates to war and policing and things like that. So the point I'm making is that a deity that is no longer worshipped in one religion may be actively being worshipped in another, but not easily recognizable unless you were a scholar and tracing it out. So some of the deities from ancient times are still around, but they're not recognized as being the same deities. Then we have the other case. Others, such as the Greek god Pan, may be forgotten and not be being worshipped in any living tradition. Certainly probable. And so we go back to the question. As puja is explained as the energy of offerings and devotion reflected back, how are our deities more genuinely separately existent than those previously worshipped and experienced as real and beneficent by other cultures long gone or yet to be? So, summarize my answer here. An ancient god may still be being worshipped, but in a form that is not recognizable. If not, and the worship of that god was taken up again, that it would be as vibrant a practice as ever. So just because a deity isn't being worshipped doesn't mean he's gone. the deities that were worshipped weren't worshipped that long ago in terms of time frame for a deity. So if the worship of that deity were to be taken up again, then the deity would be as vibrant as it previously was. So deities who are not currently being worshipped, Gurudeva called them gods in exile. Oh, thank you very much. Oh.